KG and Ringy Quick Hitter. Smelt Melt. In this edition of Ringy's Lab, we're going to focus on melting stuff.
Who doesn't like melting stuff?
Anyone that metal detects knows that not every target is a golden egg, and we all end up with buckets of trash that include recyclable metals like aluminum cans, brass fittings, and copper wire. Instead of turning it all in for cash at the recycling center, there's the option of melting it down into shiny, stackable bricks. Which option is better? Let's find out. As always, for your own safety, try never to do anything I do in the lab.
I highly recommend that you don't do any of it.
And if you choose to ignore that warning, be sure to wear some good protective gear.
Let's go melt some stuff.
Step 1. Smelt the ore.
Just kidding, this has nothing to do with smelting. I just like to say the word smelting. Step 1, clean up.
Tumbling the brass and copper is a fairly easy way to get rid of the dirt and corrosion. Once you have it cleaned, make sure it has plenty of time to dry out before melting. Bad things will happen if you don't let it dry.
Step 2, separation.
Separate the different metals into piles for melting. We're going to do brass and copper today. Then run a magnet over everything to make sure no steel has slipped by. If a steel bolt or nut gets into the mix, it's no big deal. It just won't melt, and you'll find it eventually. Double check for anything you might want to keep as well. I found coins and other things that were accidentally thrown into the recycle bin before.
Step 3, chop stuff up.
Cut or bend the scrap into manageable pieces so they fit in the crucible.
Step 4, melt.
Fire up the heat source and melt it. Pouring it takes a little practice. Go too slow and it solidifies before it hits the mold, and if you go too fast, it might splash out. If you have any doubts about how hot this is, take a look at the sides of the mold with the lights out. Long after the pour, it's still glowing. Pretty cool. After it hardens, we knock it out of the mold and then give it a quick dunk in the water to cool it down.
Oh, came right out. Awesome. Step 5, shine and buff.
Then it's back to the tumbler to remove the ash and smooth any rough edges. The gravel in the tumbler smooths out and puts a shine on the new bars after an hour or two. And there you have it. Awesome bricks of brass and copper, each a little unique work of art. I muffin topped this one, so we had to grind it off a bit first. A few have visible spots or streaks where a bit of copper might have slipped into the brass and vice versa. Beautiful. On this one we set a brass ATC token in the bottom of the mold before the pour. The molten copper melted it immediately. And this one didn't really work out very well either. Tried to put a brass token right on top of a pour. It was fun experimenting with all the different pours and the metal melting points. We tried it with an aluminum pour and the token was still intact. Pretty cool.
Hey, we're over melting stuff again. Look at that. Copper and brass bullion bricks. How awesome is that? I'm having fun. I'm melting stuff. Extreme heat, fire, flames. I wonder what KG's doing today.
Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Good boy. Yes, you are. I'm gonna let you go now, okay? Okay, yeah? Okay, here we go.
So what's better, melting or just plain recycling? Let's see, if we took the 12 pounds of brass and the 5 pounds of copper into the recycle center, we would have got about $36.25. Over the past few days, we converted that 17 pounds of scrap into bricks totaling about the same $36.25. But to obtain that, we spent about 6 hours on pre-melt cleaning, sorting, and cutting, 20 hours melting, and 2 hours post-melt cleaning and smoothing. So the total man hours were at least 28. At a minimum wage of $10, that's $280. We also burned through 2 crucibles at $35 each, and the oven cost was $400. Electricity for the tumblers and kiln was probably around $20. Who knows? That leaves us with a total loss of $733.75. Excellent.
In conclusion, I've concluded that there are 2 conclusions. The first being that recycling just the regular old way is very cost effective as compared to melting stuff, which is dangerous, ridiculously absurd, and really a lot of fun.
Here we go.
From all of us here at Ringy's Lab, we'll see you next time. Ringy out.
Quick hitter. Hey, you want to see more detecting videos like this? Subscribe now. It's the Anaconda Treasure Channel right here on YouTube.
That's cool.
Crap.